don't think I can really recall you playing the kind of traditional, almost pantomime villains in a kind of a big movie like this. I was wondering if this was a really fun role for you to get your teeth into.
It was. I was sent the script and the book at the same time. I hadn't read the book, and I just loved it. I mean, aside from the fact that I really loved the story and what it stands for, and that it's very much about choosing who you are and really being true to your inner self. That's at the central sort of core of the story in terms of the faction system, at least. But yeah, Janine, my character, who's head of the intelligence faction, yeah, she's a nasty piece of work. She's kind of silent but deadly, and it was something completely brand new for me, and yeah, I really relished the challenge.
And you were pregnant during the shooting of this movie?
I was,
right?
yes,
Did that pose
was.
any challenges? Did you was sort of hiding the bump and stuff?
Oh, I mean, it's like spot the iPad, spot the file. You know, I'd turn to them and I'd say, guys, you cannot shoot me in profile today. You just can't. No, it was a little bit challenging, just really in terms of actually keeping the bump hidden, because I wasn't supposed to look pregnant in any way, shape or form. And yeah, it was just, you know, kind of amusing, actually. Couldn't do as many stunts as I would have liked, though. But yeah, you just you muddle through.
And you have a teenage daughter. She must be really excited about seeing Divergent.
Yeah, both my older two are actually, yeah, because they're sort of just the beginning, the younger end of the age range really for this film. And yes, she had read the book actually along with a lot of her friends, and yeah, I mean, she had kids coming up to her at school saying, "Is it true your mum's playing Janine in Divergent?" So she came home and she went, "Oh, Mum, you won't believe it. That film that you're going to do, people have read the book." I was like, "Yes, I know, darling." It's like, am I cool? Now am I cool? Am I now a cool mum? Suddenly I'm a cool mum. That's good.
And I mean, there's a real inclination I found in your career to take on very strong female sort of lead roles, and it's something that I've noticed Shailene Woodley's been doing so far since she begun. Do you see any of yourself in her when you were sort of that age?
I do actually, and Shay and I. We talk a lot about exactly what she's experiencing right now, because it's incredibly similar to what I was dealing with when Titanic came out. But I do have to say, I think that with media being so digital now and the way that it is, I think it's actually much harder on the two of them, just because you can access, you know, the world of film through so many more different mediums these days, not just going to a movie theatre. And so I think we're much more aware of celebrity and who's hot and who's not, and it's just a much bigger deal. So frankly, I have huge admiration for her, because she's handling it really, really wonderfully well, and it's difficult, I think, to do that. But she's a good girl. She's a fantastic actress. So, you know, that's the thing that will get her through. She'll be fine.
And it's been 17 years since Titanic now. Which
sure has.
And I was wondering, I mean, obviously this is one of the biggest blockbusters we've done since Titanic, and I was wondering how much has Hollywood changed in that time? Do you notice any sort of notable differences in making a movie of this amount with this sort of budget?
I don't know. I mean, I think because I don't actually physically live in LA, it's slightly harder for me to be as aware perhaps of the actual movie climate. And obviously I'm not a producer either, but I just think from the outside looking in, I'm the same as everyone else. You know, films do seem to get, if they're a big film, they just have gotten bigger, I think. And if they're a small film, they've probably gotten just a little bit smaller too. But you know, I've always been in a position where I've had lots of wonderful opportunities come my way, and so I'm, you know, fortunately I don't have any complaints at all. But yeah, I think the big films probably got bigger and the small ones maybe got smaller. I'd say that's maybe the biggest difference.